What is going on, everybody? It's Quicksilver, and I'm hanging out in my Let's Play. Well, I guess it's not my Let's Play world. It is my contraption world. I was able to restore it from an old copy, which makes me really happy. If you saw my old video that I did, I think it was a couple of them ago, that pretty much the whole thing imploded. Along this one, along with my Let's Play world, but thankfully I had a good backup of this one. Where I did have things like my tree farm, so I'm really pleased because I did not want to have to try and do this again. If I needed a reference, I didn't want to have to go into my other world either. So I'm actually here for a reason. There's been a lot of changes recently with Minecraft, and I also wanted to kind of give you a sneak peek as to something that we're going to be working on today. I guess first of all, something we're looking at right here. They have added in, I guess, red sandstone, so you can use the red sand that you can find in the mesa biomes, which never knew. If you look at the right side of the screen there, I happen to have one right there in this world, which I never knew about. But anyway, I guess you can place those together or dig down far enough and probably find some of the stuff. But so these are the blocks in my texture pack. There's just the basic red sandstone, the smooth sandstone, and then the chiseled. And then they've also given us the half slab and the steps, so that's pretty nice of them. So we got that fun stuff going on. They've added in a bunch of stuff. I think I may have mentioned the banners last time, but I guess they have armor stands in here now too. Let me see if I can. Oh, there's new doors, which I have not skinned yet, so I'm not going to show you those yet. But spruce door, birch door, jungle door, acacia door, and dark oak doors. And I was going to do my own custom cool doors with it, and I actually had one that I spent a lot of time on for the acacia door, because I don't like the way that one looks. But I don't know if they have their own model or what. When I applied my skin to it, it kind of fell apart on me, so I may have to goof around with those a little bit so that I can custom skin those so they look a little bit better than what they stick us with. But let me see if I can find the armor stand. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I don't need a bow here. So the armor stand, just to show you how that works, it's kind of cool. What they have done is they have given us, I don't need any of this stuff in here anymore. Where is the armor? Armor. Here we go. Sorry about this, guys. So they've given us the ability to play dress up. So you can take your armor on this guy and deck it out. So I guess you can use that as a way to decorate your house if you want to make it look like there are other people there, or just do some kind of cool decoration stuff. The way to make these things is actually pretty simple, and some of this I think I'm maybe a little bit behind here. You guys may already know about all this stuff, so if so, just skip forward a little bit if you want. If you don't know about it, then that's fine. Just bear with and you can learn a little bit. So I'm going to grab a stack of sticks. Don't really need a stack, but I'll grab a stack. And we need 3 of these stone slabs, and let me grab a crafting bench really fast. So we'll throw that guy down. Then to make these, it's 3 of these guys across the bottom. And I think, oh, let me see if I can remember how to do this. Is that it? No, that isn't it. Oh hell. Alright, I'm not cool, guys. I thought I knew how to make these guys. Alright, well, Google is my friend. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Alright, like I said, Google is my friend, guys. Here's what we need to do. Basically just make an X out of sticks, throw 1 more here at the top, and then throw a stone slab down here at the bottom, and it will give you the little armor stand guy. Sorry about that, so that we can throw those down, and there you go. I will probably take a look at doing something with it. It looks a little basic, I think, for the rest of this, but I'm not sure. I don't know, I may not do much with it because I don't think people are really going to use it just like that. I don't think there's a whole lot of use for them. I don't know, do these things even stack on each other? I'm not sure if you can stack them or not. Yeah, no, you can't even stack them, so I'm not sure if I'll reskin these guys or not. That's kind of cool. I guess you can place them at different angles too, so if you wanted to stick one in the corner, apparently you can do that. So basically the way that you're facing is the way that it will face when you place it down. So that's kind of cool, at least within 45-degree angles. So alright, so there's that. Then one of the other things they have done is if you place a piece of colored glass on top of a beacon, it will change the color of the beacon, which is nice. Then they've also let us put semi-transparent blocks on top of these things, and they will still work. So for those of you that don't like to have to see the beacon or let it have access to air, you can do cool things like that, throwing leaf blocks over top of them. I'm working the snapshot. It's a little buggy. If you notice, there's actually a leaf block there. If I put one above it, it'll give it a block update and it'll show up. But that's been kind of driving me nuts lately. So anyway, there's that. I'm sure they're going to get that ironed out, but yeah, so you can colorize the beacon. You can do that and just have it be a clear beacon if you like the way that thing looks too. So there you go. That's that would be it for that. Then the next thing I wanted to show you guys is something that we're going to be doing today. We are going to, I think I mentioned at the end of my last video when I was working on our castle wall, we are going to work on a switchable minecart station in this video. So the basic premise for this is, and I didn't know about this, I guess, and again I feel like maybe a little bit behind, so hopefully you guys don't know about it and this is going to be something cool for you guys, or at least I'll explain it a little better. Ximuavoid actually has a tutorial on this. I'll put a link to that in the description down there. But using an item frame and putting an item in here, I think most people know if you have an item in there, if you right click on it, you can actually turn it. So we can do things like that. But what they have done is if you have an item frame on the wall, you can put a comparator behind that wall and you can actually pull a redstone signal out of it. So this is in the number 1 position, and then you can rotate it through the 8 different positions. So when it's in number 1, you can see we have a little bit of redstone lit up back there. If we put it in 2, it'll light up the second little bit. So then there's 2, then 3 lights up the third bit, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, all the way down to the end of the line there. So by putting an item in there, we can basically make a switch that has 8 positions in it, which gives us a lot of flexibility, and we're going to kind of take advantage of that little tidbit to build the minecart station. So enough of this world. Let me go ahead and jump out of here and we will head over into my Let's Play. I will give you a quick little update on the castle wall, how that thing turned out, because I was still kind of working on that when last we spoke. But I have done a lot to it now, and I'll show you kind of what I've got planned. And then we'll get started building that thing. See you in just a sec. Alrighty guys, here we are looking down at our little castle wall. I figured that might be kind of a neat way to show you what we're working with there. It's not the most secure thing in the world. When we're down there we can still get attacked by things like skeletons, but it's a lot harder for them because the walls on either side of us are really, really high, but the walls are even higher outside there. So let's get started. I guess before I show you that stuff, I'll show you what we have down here. Obviously you can see it is secure. We are completely lit up down here, which is nice. So I don't have to worry about anything spawning down here with us. I did make this little landing pad and this little road kind of a dealy working. My plan here is I'm going to make a nether portal here. So I'm hoping to do that. I don't know if obviously we're not going to do it in this video, but maybe the next one I may record it, and just if anything interesting happens you guys will see it. If not, I may not, but I think it's just going to link up with what we've, well actually I don't know if we have anything in the nether anymore since I did the rebuild, so we probably don't. So I'll go ahead and I'll build that, and that should give us our nether portal. I did want to be able to get up on the wall and make this kind of functioning stuff here, so I've got this little double staircase thing that we can go up either side. Once we're up here, I built kind of an ornate wall system, but this is what I was talking about. If there are skeletons up there, they have no problem coming down here and shooting at me and all that good stuff. But that makes it kind of fun because they can't actually get over here to hit me. They've got to shoot me, and I can easily dodge out of their way and pick them off. So it's kind of a fun little area. These are the towers that you saw from above. I did want to make those functioning. These are a little safer, I think. I've not actually had anything attack me, and it's pretty easy to hide here. But yeah, it gives us a good vantage point of everything over here as well as what's here. So like I said, when we chose this place, I really like the view. I'm still kind of in love with the crazy extreme hills, but or extreme, I don't know if you call these things hills, whatever you want to call them, mountains, whatever. So we got our 2 towers here. View's not really very different from one to the next, but I'll go ahead and show you really quick. Here we can get a really safe view over there. I don't think anything can shoot us per se or mess with us, and we have a better view really of what's down here. I think ultimately when I do the, I guess the basement, if you want to call it that, of the castle, we will have like underneath this stuff we'll actually have access down to the water, I'm thinking down low there. So there's that. Let me see. I have not built out, I have lit up, but I've not built out anything under here yet. So we don't really have anywhere to go down here, but ultimately that's where we'll open out. And I'll replace all this dirt and crap down here with a staircase or something to get us down there. So that is that. Now the plan for today, and I think I've made it safe enough that we can dig this out. I think I've built up some terraforming out here to make sure we can dig around here. I'm going to dig a little room in here that is going to become our minecart station. And as I mentioned when we were in the contraption world, I am going to follow the Ximuavoid's tutorial. I'll have a link down below for you guys if you want to check that out as well. But to start with, I've got to dig out a 9 block deep by 21 block wide area, and that's going to give us our 8 switchable station thingy-mabobber. So there you go. I think that's a technical term. Don't quote me, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll do that off cam here really quick so that I can get this dug out and not have you guys watch that. And I'll see you in just a sec. Alright kids, we are back, and I have dug this room out actually twice. Initially I dug it out this direction, and I realized that the way this thing was going to lay out, my minecarts, once we would go through, would be heading back this way into really the first 2 or 3 of them would have to go through pretty much the middle of our area here. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have this thing completely hidden, so I've kind of flipped it on its side. So hopefully you won't have to bear with me. I think I've done this right, and I've tried to dig out most everything that I could here. I am going to vary this a little bit from what Asuma did. I am not going to put, for the return system, he had it kind of automated. He had a cactus pretty much in this position, and then he had some dispensers that would feed the minecart that popped off the cactus back into the dispenser, which I am going to do the dispenser part because I think that's really cool. But I don't want to come back in and slam into a cactus. I don't want to take the damage. I don't think I'll ever be an issue, but rather than have myself come in and have to deal with that, I'm just going to leave that part out of my particular design. So I guess to get this party started, yeah, I've dug out really more than I needed to, cleared out the room, and all the stuff that's in here will make sense if you follow this tutorial. You'll see why I've done what I've done. Basically it's just so you guys don't have to watch me dig. So I guess let's see if we can get this show started. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is this room is actually going to be, it's a 4x4 room, so that's really all you're going to see of this once we're all done with it. But I believe, if my memory serves, I want to go ahead right here. We are going to have a dispenser facing up, and I'm actually going to dig out that block as well. I think we're probably going to need to do a little bit of digging here to make this thing work after I've got things in place. And then right here I'm going to place a sticky piston. Oh, also that's one thing, when if you're watching the tutorial, when Asuma gives the rundown of all the build materials that you're going to need, he does not mention the sticky piston. So just so that you are aware of that, that is not a part of his build that he gives you. So you will want to make sure you have one of those. So those 2 items are in place. Now that I have that, really, I'm going to go ahead and wall this sucker up. I'm going to stick with the stone bricks. This wall is really, since we're not going to go with the cactus function, this wall is really just for looks more than anything else. This is where our minecart's going to come shooting down. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and close that off. And let's go ahead and close this off as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we want to throw, the next item we're going to want is our item frame. And that thing, what did I decide I was going to use? I think I just wanted to throw a torch in there for my my pointer. I think I want that to go on the 3rd block up right here. And I'm going to slap that sucker in there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Come on, baby. These things are kind of tough to target sometimes. Maybe if I can get the edge of that thing. There we go. So now we can spin that thing around, and our pointer is not the yellow part, it is this part. So then ultimately I'm going to have signs that I will throw in around here. So we'll have destination 1 through 8 that we'll throw around it. I do have all the signs here, but I don't think I want to have those. So that I'm going to leave right there. And then around back here, let's see, this is the 1, 2, 3rd block in, and we want to have it 2 up. That's where we're going to have to place our yeah, that's where we're going to have to place our comparator. Sorry guys, I struggle with the damn words for these things sometimes, but hey, you know, that's just me. So okay, so what did I say, 1, 2, 3 back? So it's going to be basically right here. I believe right here is where we're going to want to have our comparator. and that is going to pull our signal out from the sign. So let's go ahead. Yeah, it's going to be a little weird to build just because of how I'm doing this. You know, I don't know why I'm putting decent blocks back here. I should just throw junk here. Do I have junk with me? Maybe that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, since I don't want to build on dirt, I'm going to go ahead and use pretty blocks. So there we go. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to throw our comparator, or our first comparator down. I use a lot of comparators in this thing. And I would, oh man, crap. Typical. Got our head hitting the ceiling. Let's do this then. I think I can stand over here and still do this, right? Yeah, baby. Okay. Alright, so that's good. That's what I wanted to see right there. That is a signal coming out from the sign there, so that tells me I do have that placed in the right spot. And that makes me a happy bear. I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and we'll place our next block right there. And those two are going to be important. That's how we're going to pull our signal out and around from the comparator. We're actually, it's going to power, the comparator's powering this block. So when we take our redstone dust and we plop it right here, that's powered. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see the little particle effects up there coming off of that, so that's a beautiful thing. So that is that. Now I'm going to throw another here and here. Yeah, cool. We're going to take another comparator right here, and that's going to pull the signal out of that block. And yep, that's good. And then there as well. I think that's what we want to do. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make sure, I don't want to tell you guys the wrong stuff here, so I'm going to double check what I'm doing probably as I'm doing it. I think that's probably a good idea. But let's get that in place. Oh, you know what? I got to get our button in here too. So let me go double check the tutorial really fast and make sure that I'm doing this the right way. But yeah, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I just went back into Ximu's video and I realized I'm kind of doing things out of order from what he does. So I think I'm going to backtrack here a little bit and we're going to do things more in line with what he's doing. So our next item, I do want to get this button in place, and that's going to go right here on this second block up and second block in from our wall here. So that is going to give us what we need there. Then the next thing he does is he's got the tracks going in, so let's go ahead and do that really fast. We need to have a powered rail right here. Now in his tutorial he bends this around this way so that we can slam into a cactus. We're not going to do that though because we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do this, and then we're going to place another powered rail on top of our dispenser right there. Ooh, you know what? I think I just found out a good reason to have the hoppers in place, because right now getting a minecart into that's going to be a real pain in the butt. So let's see here what our best bet is. Maybe I'll throw one right here. I don't think that's going to cause a problem, and I'm going to have extra hoppers, I think, because I'm not doing them the way that he did. So I think if I do that, then that's going to easily let me toss a minecart in there so that we can fill that sucker up and be able to actually use this thing. So that might be good, right? Alright, so our next item up for bids, we've got to do this, and then we're going to put two down here, another powered rail, and then we're going to bend these guys around. Dunk, 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 and on around. So I'm going to continue this all the way down. So we have 8 of these things, which I think I've already got measured out. So hopefully we don't have to really worry too much about what we're doing. Do I have an extra one here? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How on earth did I do that? So, oh, you know what? That's right, because we have 8 destinations, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I think I may have miscounted, or maybe Ximu miscounted the number of powered rails we need, because I think, yeah, I'm short one here. So let me run back up top side and get one more of those things so I can throw it down there, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, here we go. Now I have our extra powered rail, so we'll do that. And then it looks like the next thing we're going to want to do is we've got to get furnaces and comparators in there. We're going to use the output, actually, I guess, from the furnaces to control our comparator output here. So we're going to place our comparator underneath this block for each one of these guys. And come on now. So there we go. That gives us all that, and I don't think I need to do anything on that last one. And I'll throw our furnaces here, and then I'm going to remember, I guess in his tutorial towards the end of it, he remembers that he forgot to throw an item in here, so we got to do that so that we can actually get an output from that comparator down there, which we're going to use to control our other power, so that we can only have these rails switch when we have something selected in there, our item frame in there. So let's go ahead and get this sucker in place, that sucker in place, and that sucker in place. And now we should see all these guys fired up. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, beauty. Alright. Cool beans, man. Oh, do I have a dark area down here? Oh, I do. I don't want a dark area. Let's throw a torch there. Some of these areas that I've got over here I'm not going to really be using, so I don't think I need to worry too much about them. So, alright. I think that's got everything in place that I needed here. Okay, so I guess we're supposed to have a gap here at the end, so I'm going to pop those guys out of there. Apparently that's how that's supposed to work out. So now, I may have a little bit of an issue here. I've got to throw in levers, or levers if you will, in all of these guys so we can power up these powered rails. And I do have one issue, because the first one that I need to power, he's able to make use of the fact that he has a cactus here to power this guy. So since we don't have that, and I don't want to have any issues with the crosswire, or with cross-wiring over here on these other wires, or on the other redstone that we've got working, I've got to find a creative way to get that guy some power, and I think I can probably do it. Let's see if we can do it this way. I don't think this is going to cause any problems with the other stuff that we're doing. So let's see if we can throw that lever there, and then we will cover it back up, because I don't want to see that, you know. Nobody wants to see that. I guess, well, he puts the power on here, but I think that's going to give us the same effect. So at this point, yeah, all those are powered up, and what we're actually going to do, what's going to control our destination, guys, just so you know, the tracks right here, if we send some power into those, let me see if I can do this elegantly enough to show you. So if we've got, oh, there you go, it just switched on its own there. Did it? Am I cracking up? No, it did. Why did it, I'm kind of surprised it switched. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do that then, and let's see if we can get it to switch back. You know what, I bet you that's what it is, and hopefully I didn't just goof it up. If I did, I'll just pull those tracks out of there, but let's see here. So if I throw my redstone torch here, let's see if this guy will flip-flop back. Yeah, so there we go. So that's how we're going to control this stuff. I'm going to pop that guy back. Ah. Okay, well, hopefully that's not going to be a problem for us, but I think it might be, so let me do this. Tell you what, can we do this? Yeah. Nope, gotta do this the hard way. I say the hard way, like this is so bad, right? We'll do that, and then I'll throw this guy down here, and then hopefully, okay, you're gonna stay in place now when I pull this out, right? Okay, you're not gonna stay in place. You're gonna be a little bitch, and that's okay. We're gonna do the way that we're just gonna pull that back out, and we're gonna rebuild this one little area, and then we'll power it all back up. That should be okay. So, all right, well, long story short, guys, you saw what happened when I put the redstone down there. We were able to control. Yep, there we go. When I put that redstone down there, we were able to control which direction this faced. If you're new to minecart tracks, which I can't imagine anybody would be at this point in time, but if you are for some reason, that's a handy little tip to know. You can control which direction those things face by applying power to the block that they're on. So that's how we're going to control via this dealio. And what we're going to build back here, we're going to use that signal output to power the various blocks that are in front of that. So in this case, we're like I showed you here, we'll have redstone on here, and we're going to power those up so we can control which of these guys is flipped and which ones go straight, because right now the way these things are set up, we're immediately going to come in here, we're going to go right here. But as you saw, when we apply power to those things, they're all going to flip-flop, and they'll let us continue to go straight until we get to the one that is flipped. So that's going to be the secret to all this, so that we can pick different destinations. Like this first one right here, I'm going to want to send down to the skeleton farm, I think. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll dig this one down right away, and we'll just start shooting down below things. This guy I may shoot up, and we'll go to a different level, or maybe I'll shoot it down but not quite as low as this one goes, and we'll send it off in a different direction to go to another destination. So that's our goal ultimately. We'll have 8 different locations that we can send this thing. Okay guys, I decided to kind of tear out what I've got back here because it's going to get in the way as we're trying to build the next little bit. So I guess as Asuma says in his video, there are 2 parts to this next little bit, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started here. There we go. I need to get those guys, I'm going to need to get these guys, and so what we're going to do is, I believe I got my block placement correct there. I'm going to put a block here, we're going to put a block underneath that one temporarily, so I'm just going to use dirt so it's easy to pull out of there, and then there, and then I'm going to leave that guy, that looks right. Then I'm going to do this, then back here we got to make a little L shape here, so we're going to do that. And then the sticky piston you saw, which was right there, is going to stay put. That one's going to go here facing into the dispenser with no ticks on the delay. And then, whoops, these 2 guys are going to face into that block, which will then power the sticky piston below it as well. So that should be all we need to do there. And I'm going to check my light levels. Yep, we got to get a little light back here. So that should give us what we need there. Then, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw some redstone dust up here. Let's try this again. Where do I want to place this first? Yeah, okay, so we're going to put here, 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 here. That should be correct there. And then I believe we want to place a repeater here on 4 ticks. Another one here on 4 ticks, another one here on 4 ticks, and then this guy is going to go over here with no ticks. And that's going to be how we're going to control the dispenser as well as the sticky piston that's going to push up behind so that the minecart will take off once we are in there. It'll give us a little bit of a delay. That's what this is for actually. As soon as we hit the button, since there's no delay here, it's going to spit out the minecart. Then these are going to cause a little bit of a delay before the sticky piston pops up behind the minecart. At the same time, we're going to have this rail will be powered by it. And you know what, I don't know if this will work or not for right now, but yeah, see, so there we go. So that's our delay that we're going to get. And you heard the tick, that's going to be the minecart popping out, and we'll right click to get in it, and then that thing should pop up right behind us and we'll take off. And then it'll all pull itself back down so that when we come back, life is good there. So that is that. Now here we want to, I think it's on the back of this block. This is the other element that we're going to control. I think we want to put a redstone torch, but you know what? Before I steer strong, I did leave these 2 blocks in place from the original build that we were working on, so that I could make this a little more easier to work with. But let's go ahead and start getting some of our other blocks back in place here. Now that I've got this stuff out of the way, I probably could have left them in there, but as it turned out, it's okay. This worked. I think, didn't I find out last time that we were having a little bit of an issue trying to get our blocks in place here? So I'm going to do this, and yeah, I couldn't jump up there so to place our comparator. So now I won't have to, because I was smart enough to leave this guy in place. Come on, baby. There we go. I'll pull these out of here. They're just temporaries, and same with this guy. We got a little light level of 7 here. I'm going to throw another torch down here. Like I said, don't like to have little friends showing up anywhere. So there's that. Then we want to have a redstone dust here, pulling back out of our comparator there. And then we're going to have our redstone dust here and here. Now, I got to figure out, let me check one thing in his video, guys. I'm not sure. I think I'm putting a repeater here that's going to feed into our comparator sideways. But let me go double check that, because I don't want to screw this up, because that would be not good. One thing I can do, and I'll go ahead and do first just because I know it, is I'll put this in here and I'll throw these on what's called subtract mode, so that we can affect how our redstone gets powered. That's going to control all these guys. I'm pretty sure this is correct, and then I'll wait to throw down the dust there until we have the rest of the stuff up. So yeah, let me check on that just to make sure I don't screw up what the ticks need to be on this, if there need to be any ticks and all that good stuff. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we want to actually have a comparator here, and damn it, I am short one comparator, guys. Wouldn't you know it? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, let me go jump back up to the top of the base here and get that one in place really fast, so that we're not screwed here. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and so I'll throw that guy there, and then I believe at this point all that's left to do is throw our redstone dust up here, which is going to flip-flop all of our tracks, as we mentioned, but not this one for some reason. Why didn't it flip-flop that guy? Oh, no, that's powered. Okay, something is not right here, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let that slide for. Oh no, that's okay, because that's how we want that to be. That way, if there's nothing selected, then we'll take the 8th track. Duh, that makes sense. Okay, I think this is all set now, so let's go ahead and flip-flop that and see if that changed anything. If it didn't, which I don't know that it did, yeah, something's not right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of checking. Does that need to be on subtract mode? No. Okay. Let me dig into this a little bit, guys, and try and figure out what's going on. I thought I had followed this pretty much to the letter, but apparently I did something wrong here. So let me see if I can't figure out what that is, and I will tell you what it is and how we fix it. Alright, guys, I am back, and boy, you know what? I actually was not having any problem, but the not problem that I was having actually led to a much bigger problem, but I have a solution to it. This is actually the next night. I probably have a bald spot from tearing out hair for a little while, but I think I finally have this thing working out. I actually recorded a failed ending, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so if this is out a day or so late, that is why, because I was trying to get this thing sorted out. But here's the thing. First of all, I was doing this and I was expecting to see a change in the tracks, and I don't know why I was thinking that, because the way this thing works is you select where you want to go, and when you hit the button here, that's when you're actually going to change. That's when the tracks are going to change, is when you actually hit the button. And I would show you that, except I want to show you a problem, and then I want to show you the fix beforehand. The problem that I had was I had a whole bunch of well, if you remember from just a second ago, we had a redstone dust on top of each one of these blocks, and that's how we were going to change these tracks. However, when I was doing that, for whatever reason, the track wouldn't change over, and then it would change back, and it would basically flip-flop all the tracks that I had here, all the curved tracks, so that no matter what I did, it was always going to take this first path and go into the dead end. So after a lot of head scratching and trying to sort it out, trying to figure it out, gotta get this filled in. What I ended up doing was I pulled all the redstone off of here so that I wouldn't get a circle, or a circle. That doesn't make sense. Let me try that again. I pulled all the redstone dust off the top of those blocks, and instead of that I threw a redstone torch underneath here so that I could force the tracks to change when we wanted them to. So that appears to have been the solution, and then I felt vindicated because when I was trying to see if that was indeed correct, and I was doing some testing and I was rewatching Ximuavoid's video, I didn't see anything as far as him acknowledging it, but somebody else, I guess, was having the same problem in the snapshots. So I think the issue that I was seeing was in the more recent snapshot, and the guy who experienced the same problem that I was having solved it the same way too. So I do feel good about that. So in a nutshell now, you know what, I'll just go ahead and let this work. We'll go ahead and we'll set that to the 4th track, which I think will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think when we hit our button, our cart should end up here. So let's go ahead and double check that. But we'll do that, and I actually did throw a card in there. It'll pop out, and then, well, you'll see how it works. Here we go. There it is, and then boop, there we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's exactly where we wanted it to go. So dear God, after much hair pulling and frustration and all that good stuff, I think we finally have it working. So let's throw that back in there, and I will run a quick test. We'll try and send this to the very last one. Make sure that works. I should have just got in the damn thing. Yep, there we go. I guess the last one actually keeps us going straight. So that's is that correct? Yeah, I think that's what we want. So if we have it on the last one, it's just going to send us back down the tracks. So good to know. Let me make sure that I've got it working everywhere. So we'll do the second to last one, which would be in the 3 o'clock position right there. I think that's going to send it down to the very last thing. I should have just jumped in it again. No, that took us to here. So how do we get it to there? Let me look at this really fast, guys. Make sure I didn't just pull my hair out in vain, but I think we may have a problem with the last selector here. So let's check it one more time. Make sure it wasn't just a fluke or something. No, okay, so it's not going. I wonder why it's not going down there. Alright, let me look at that off camera really fast, and I will be right back, see if I can't get that sorted out. And I think I already see the problem. It's because it's not getting. I don't think I have a torch on the back of that one, which is a bunch of dumb. So yeah, I'll take a peek at that and get that sorted out, and I'll be right back. Okay, kids, I have the solution to it. Basically, the tutorial that Asuma does, in this very last position, he does not have another furnace with a piece of charcoal in it and another comparator to do the lock-unlock thing here. So basically, by not having that in there and setting this up the way that I did, it was flipping this, but only I think momentarily. So now that I have those in place, I'll go ahead and show you here just proof of concept. We'll hit the button, we'll hop in the cart, and we'll actually ride it down here, and boop, there we go. So that is what we wanted to see. So guys, we actually have a functioning minecart system. So now I just got to find 8 destinations to take it to, and clean this up a little bit. I don't know. I don't like seeing into this room, but I don't know. I'll do something to maybe clean this up, make it a little nicer looking. May fill in some of the stuff back here. Hell, I don't know. We'll figure something cool out to do with it. But yeah, I think the first thing I want to do is I'll set destination 1 up so that we can go to the skeleton farm. Do I have my signs with me still? I do. So let's just go ahead. I'll throw that up here right now. Skeleton farm. So there we have it. Alright kids, I hope you like what you watched. It was probably some years off my life, but that is okay. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel a bunch. And if you really liked it and you're not already a subscriber, do subscribe. And I'll keep making these videos. I guess before the next one, I'll clean this room up a little bit, actually make this a little better looking. And actually build our rail down to our skeleton farm. So I'll show you that when we come back next time. And in the meantime, I will catch you later.